Hello, Gigi. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Thank you very much for this opportunity.
You online.
Brazilian friends. In Brazil, there are major events with international speakers,
right?
And you have to come to Brazil to give your lecture at one of these big conferences. Especially in the city of São Paulo, where we live, these big events and conferences take place, and please, you must come to Brazil soon. Brazilians will love your lecture. It's an honor to have you with us. The Brazilian people need to know your incredibly inspiring life story. I would like to introduce Elica Martins, who is the partner of Grant Thornton in Brazil. She is our special guest in honor of International Women's Day and will assist us in this podcast as the moderator from Grant Thornton. Whenever you are ready, we can start. Welcome to the CEOTV podcast, your source of inspiration on Spotify. Today, we have the honor of talking to someone who is making a difference in their community, making the world around them a better place. We are delighted to welcome Gigi Butler, the founder of Gigi's Cupcakes in Nashville, Tennessee. Join us as we dive into her journey of entrepreneurship and inspiration. Gigi, it's an honor to have you with us. The Brazilian people need to know your incredibly inspiring life story, which will surely be a source of inspiration for all of us in Brazil and Latin America, and will assist us in this podcast as the moderator from Grant Thornton, who is the partner of Grant Thornton in Brazil, one of the largest auditing firms in the world, present in over 144 countries. Elica will help us conduct this conversation with Gigi. About Gigi, she is a singer, entrepreneur, author, motivational speaker, and founder of Gigi Cupcakes. Gigi has appeared on various TV shows and podcasts in the United States, including Hallmark Channel, Fox Business, Today Nashville, Today, Forbes, TEDx, and Undercover Boss. Elica, it's your turn, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you. It's so good to be here. Wonderful. Well, great. Well, I one day want to visit Brazil. I hear it's beautiful. And people are so warm and kind, it seems. So I can't wait to come over there one day.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Hello, everyone. And thank you, Rodrigo. So first, happy Women's Day. It is a pleasure for me be here and an honor be here with Gigi and with you. So I'm Elica Martins. I'm a mother of two girls and married, and I live in Campinas, São Paulo. I also audit partner at Grant Thornton Brazil, responsible for all the search woman business in Brazil, spokesperson. And just to talking about Grant Thornton is support companies in different stage of the growth, and from startup to public company, how in dynamic companies achieve and the grow potential and sustainable way, generate the best value positions for business, and with a customized way of work. One of the largest global audit, advisory, and tax firm is present in 149 countries and has more than 68,000 employees worldwide. In Brazil, 16 business centers and more than 1,700 people. And now to begin with our special Gigi here with us. So Gigi, you faced several challenges as a female and an entrepreneur, mother. How did you balance your life, your family responsibility with managing your growth business? For the first question for you.
That's the first question. Balance.
Yeah.
I think that's the hardest thing for people to find, especially people that are very motivated, like us. So we tend to be type A, so we just want to be the control freaks of everything, and everything has to be on our shoulders, which it's a great trait to have, but it also can be harmful as well, because then we don't find a balance. So I've worked through these last 15 years really trying to find a balance, to have, first of all, sanity, have some special time and be a mom, which is the most important of my life, and then balance working out and eating well, and then having creative space. So I have found that just being present, I've really had to really focus on being present, because also you would know type A's and people that are very driven are always thinking in the future, right? Oh, I got to do this. I've got to do, we're multitaskers and we're great with operations, but that's also a weakness, right? So taking a breath, being present in all that you do, and learning how to task just that moment has really been important for me. And I'm also a list person. Like every morning I get up and I make a list. I don't know, do you all do that as well? Do you make lists?
Yes, this is a good idea. Sometimes I talk to my daughters. If you have a doubt, breathe out and learn with the time and be present. And sometimes,
right, take a breath, be present. I have to, I read my Bible, then I go, okay, my day's going to start. I look at my list. If I don't get my list accomplished that day, well, it just goes to the next day. But at least it's out there. It's, you've created the energy of whatever that goal is, and it's on paper, and subliminally we have to then cross it off, right? So I think making a list and tasking yourself and being present is how I've been able to be successful.
Oh, wonderful. And just to connect to Brazil, Brazil is a very music country. Oh. And I listen that you is like music too, and our people love music here. Could you share how your musical career was, and how has the music influenced your life in your journey as an entrepreneur?
That is a great question, and not a lot of people ask that. I'm glad to hear that Brazil loves music, because it's really important. I think music just soothes the soul, or it's just part of life. And if you don't have music, it's really one of the senses that you would be missing. But my music career started at 7. I knew I was going to be a country music singer-songwriter then, and I just worked towards that goal. And so then I started a cleaning business to support the music, moved to Nashville. So it was mainly country music then. And I would write about, the dogs got sick and the baby's crying and whatever. And so it was a little bit more depressing being in country. And then when I got out of country music and I retired and then started growing businesses, sometimes the country music, the depressing stuff, was really not the mode I needed to be in. It wasn't powerful. So I started listening to like the song, I know y'all know it, Thunder, hear the thunder, that type of stuff, Imagine Dragons.
Oh,
and things that really motivate and push me when I'm working out. Some country does that, but lots of it is not as motivational. And then I also started listening to a lot of gospel music and inspirational music. So I sing now at my church. I'm in the choir at my church, and that's my musical outlet now. But it didn't used to be. I never liked Christian music. I thought it was so cheeseball. It's just like, how many times can you say amen in a song? But they've really changed that type of music too, where it's really just positive and it's uplifting and it makes you want to be a better person and it's motivating. So that's my journey in music.
Wonderful. Depends on the day and depend on the time. It's a different.
Right. It just depends on your mood and what you're going to achieve. And if you're going through a heartbreak, listen to Patsy Cline and you'll be in a bottle of wine in a minute, right? You'll go through a bottle of wine, but it just depends on the mood you're in. And music just soothes the soul. It's just part of probably me, a lot of people, most people in America. And now I hear Brazil. So I'm going to have to come over there and do a gig. Do they like country music over there?
Yes, I like country music and popular music, classic music. I'm so eclectic too, and depend on the city.
So when you say, in Portuguese, you say music? Is it
Portuguese is a popular music.
Popular music? And what's music?
Popular music, yes.
Okay. Well, I'm going to try to learn. I'm going to try to learn the words. I'm going to try to learn your language. So that's music.
Yeah, good. And now I'm so excited to know about your book. Could you tell us about your book, The Secret Ingredient, and when it sparked this idea to start the book? Tell us about this book. It's so excited to know about your book.
Well, thank you. It came out in 2019. And it's done very well. It's a life story. It's a memoir, and it has at the end of every chapter, it has a life lesson and then a recipe that would follow my life, like the hunka chunka banana bread or blueberry cobbler when we were going to buy a blueberry farm in Ozark, Arkansas, things like that. So it kind of goes through my life, and I love it. I'm about ready to start my YouTube channel on baking through my book. I started filming it today and just going through every recipe and teaching people in an easy way how to be a good cook and a good baker. It really is easy if you take the time to learn. So I just started that. And then I'm writing a book also called This Takes the Cake. And it's about all of the things that have happened since 2012 up until now. And it's what to do when faith's been shaken and cake's been taken. So it's all about how a rise to success, going from cleaning toilets to a CEO of a company, grossing millions and millions of dollars within 5 years, having a child by myself, and then experiencing tragedy and loss. And through all that, what keeps you grounded when you're not, the famous baker anymore and you've sold your company and then COVID hits and the whole world closes down? Who are you as a person? So it goes through the journey of finding just the balance with the ups and the highs and the lows and all of the tragedies that happen to all of us, and finding your peace.
Oh,
I'm writing that. That's a laid out next year. Yes.
Yeah, an excellent connection. And could you tell us about your last development and projects that you are all working on?
Yeah, well, I'm writing the book, and I'm doing also a devotional, a baking and cooking devotional as well. And then I'm starting the YouTube channel, which is great, and the TikTok. I guess everyone's on TikTok, so you got to do all that stuff. And then I'm also working with a company that I invested in many years ago, and I'm doing some advertising with them. And it's a gummy. It's a chewable gummy, and it's the first company that has enzymes in the gummy, and it's a sleep, and then we have a beauty, and then we also have a multivitamin. So I've been working with that company called Blue Core Labs for the last 5 years on and off. And so I'm getting ready to launch that as well. So I'm very excited about that. And we've been working very hard on it. And I would love to share more with you when that has started. So.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. And you're talking about the church and your spirituality. I also would you like to know how has spirituality and your faith in God been important for your entrepreneur journey?
That is a great question. It's my anchor. And it's something I have to hold fast to, because when you've lost everything and you have nothing but God and he can get you through, it becomes a necessity. I don't try to preach my religion and, try to say, oh, you have to do this. I just have to tell people my journey and what God has done for me, and how I just hate for people to say, oh, you're preaching. And I'm truly not preaching. It's just something that I've had to cling to get through the hardest parts of my life. And in the highs and the lows, and what we were talking about, tons of money, no money, more money. And it just, you have to be like this. And with God centered in my life, I'm allowed to be like this, just balanced, which we were talking about balance before. So.
Yes, that's perfect. And this faith helped you overcome challenge and achieve success in your life, right?
Right. Well, if you don't have a higher power and you're relying on yourself, which is humanistic, correct? And so you're the God, you're the humanistic, you're the one that has to create the power. Well, who did we cling to when everything's gone, or you're searching? I think humans are made to search. We have this innateness about us where we're trying to cling to some reason or some creator that's higher than us. So without that, how does one get through their day? They do. I have friends that, don't believe, but I don't know how that's done. And then some people say, well, you're weak, and you're weak. I think showing weakness and vulnerability, knowing that I need a higher power to help me through, makes us strong.
Yeah, I think, yes. And this is the base that we need to nourish,
right,
day by day, right?
Right.
It's important to have in focus in the life and nourish your faith every day.
My daughter's here. Come here real quick, Kendall. Come there. Now she lives Brazilian.
How
nothing like me. I promise I had her. She's
oh, hi.
Say hi, this is Kendall Sky. Say
how have been so far?
To my friends in Brazil. We're going to go there one day. So, okay, I just wanted you to be. Yeah, it's
wonderful.
So, she doesn't look wonderful, like me, but I promise she's mine. I have the scar to show it.
I have the $2, but now she is 90 and 70 years old. I'm so emotional today because Women's Day, and I said to them, "Oh, always my baby, always my baby."
Right, always my baby. And I said that the other day, and my daughter's like, "I'm not your baby." And I'm like, "You're always going to be, you came out of my belly. You will always be my baby. I don't care how old you are. I'm your mom." So I understand that. And it goes so quick. Like it just, all of a sudden, you're running a company, you're doing this, and then your kids grow up. And that's why when we were talking about balance, and finding out what the most important thing is in our life, and my daughter is number one. So me building huge companies right now is not really, it's timing. She's my number one. I'm building her character, and I'm hopefully leaving a legacy of love for her. So that's my number one priority right now.
Yeah, excellent. I think this is so important because time is fly. We need the attention with the kids, with adults, and stay together. I think stay together in attention. I think this is the most important, because sometimes my daughter said, "Mommies, you work, but you give us some attention." And I saw some mothers that don't work today, but don't have attention with their daughters.
Right. They don't. They're like, "Oh, I have to deal with my kids." I'm like, "You have to deal with your kids? You don't even have a job. What do you do every day? Go get your nails done?" And then you're dealing with your kids? Like, I can't understand it. That's not been my life. I'm not putting anyone down, but it's like, deal with your kids. Yes, they are very hard, and it's the hardest job that you could ever do, but it's so rewarding.
Yeah. And in my house, all the time with a lot of friends, to prepare cupcake, because my daughter loves to prepare cupcake. And in Brazil, chocolate cupcake, it's like called brigadeiro. Brigadeiro.
Yes.
I don't know if you have you been talking about brigadeiro? Have you no?
I've never heard of that. I haven't heard of it. But do they like chocolate over there?
Yeah.
Chocolate, good. That's good.
Yeah. And one day when you visit Brazil, please come visit us. I will prepare a brigadeiro for you.
That sounds amazing. And I will for sure bring you cupcakes. I promise.
Yeah.
I need to see these pictures from your girls making all of these cupcakes. I want to see some. We've got to go be on Instagram and be friends so we can see each other's cupcakes and baking.
Yeah. Excellent to put the family together and spend the time. So, Rodrigo, it's your turn.
Advice for Brazilian entrepreneurs. Many Brazilians aspire to start their own businesses and follow in your footsteps. What advice would you give to those who wish to start their own businesses?
Right. Well, first of all, take the step, right? So many people are afraid. Fear is the worst thing in the world because you're afraid to look stupid, whatever it is. People are afraid to not be accepted, right? So then fear inhibits what we should be doing. And stepping outside your box and outside your comfort zone means you're going to be able to, you have to feel fear. And fear is something that everyone's going to feel, but it's how do you maneuver around fear or through fear or knock it out or dynamite, whatever it is. Fear is like a stumbling block that you have to figure out how to maneuver through. So I think the first step is following your gut, taking that step and knowing there's fear, but knowing that you can get through that and fight that fear and get on the other side of it. And if you fail, then you fail. I've never been the person, I've always been someone that was like, I'm not going to be 90 years old and say, what if, right? I don't want to be that what if. I want to be, why not? Why not me? Why not? And I did that and it went huge, right? And I just killed it and tons of money and tons of fame. Well, then I did it again with a pie shop and I got my ass kicked. But I will never be able to have to say, man, I wish I would have done that pie shop. Man, why didn't I? What if? I don't ever have to wonder what if. Now, I got my butt kicked, but I at least can know I did it. It was so painful. It was so hard. It was during COVID. COVID killed so many businesses, but I still did it. And going through having huge success and huge loss, I can still today say you have to just continue to follow through and go for it. No matter if you fail, doesn't matter. Really, in the long run, it's going to be better that you fail because that's when you learn the most, is when you're failing. You're falling forward, you're picking yourself up and you're going, well, I'm not going to do that again. I'm not going to do it that way again. And you figure it out. And that's life. Failing and picking yourself up is the best recipe for success.
If you found a magic lamp and could make 3 wishes, what would they be?
I want to go to Brazil. And
yes,
so speaking gigs in Brazil. That's actually really a big goal of mine. I've always wanted to go to Brazil. It's really so funny that we're talking because we talked a few years ago and we're, you have to come to Brazil. But I've thought about it ever since. And then when you reached back out to me, I was like, I really want to go. So that would be That would be one thing, more international travel, and actually just being able to touch people's lives that really aren't in a capitalist type of country, that are more, a little different than us, socialist, but still being able to meet with younger people and people that love creating. I think that would be so amazing. So that is number one for me. And number two, I don't know. I think this number one, I really want to get my book finished, and I would love to have a huge cooking show where I can go around and really interview people and then interview the vulnerability of someone while we're cooking their favorite meal when they were a kid, or what their grandma used to bake for them. And while we're cooking this meal, we could really talk about what makes them special and unique. So those are my 3 goals.
Final remarks. We invite our friend Elika to give us his final remarks.
So thank you, Rodrigo. So, it was a spark-inspiring conversation with Faith. I think this is the guide, and it's a good guide that Gigi shared with us, as well as being the base. This is the base, and we need to worry about this and base and nourish it, being day by day. And thank you so much for sharing your beautiful story and connect with your family, connect you with a real life. This is the most important, because sometimes we talk to some people and some people will not connect with your real life. And you, for me, it's inspiring.
Well, thank you so much.
Very nice to meet you today.
Very nice to meet you. I can't wait to meet you in person and have what is that called again? The chocolate that you were talking about?
Brigadeiro.
Brigadeiro. I'm gonna Google that tonight.
Brigadeiro. BRIGADEIRO.
Brigadeiro.
Brigadeiro. Yes, Brigadeiro.
Will you write it down for me?
Yes, I will. Yeah, I will send you the name.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
That's prepared with condensed milk and chocolate and mash.
Yes.
It's wonderful. Yeah.
Music and chocolate. Yes, I'm in. Well, it's very nice to see you all. Thank you so much for having me. And I really am looking forward to just working with you all again very soon and seeing you in person one day.
Gigi, what would be your final remarks?
Wow. Final remarks. I think that if people learn to have faith in themselves and fight their fear and just step out of the boat, even if you fall, even if you just get your butt kicked, it's okay, because when you get your butt kicked and you fail, you learn and you get better. So just have faith and step out of the boat.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Our thanks on behalf of all Brazilian listeners. Thank you. It was an incredible and inspiring conversation. Thank you for sharing your story with us. For our listeners, stay tuned for more stories of success and inspiration. Until next time, health, strength, and faith.